What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with another Minor League Monday. Today we're going through the updated MLB Pipeline Top 100 prospect list. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Cannot wait to jump into this video. This is the mid-season update of the MLB Pipeline's top 100 prospects. My favorite website, honestly, the one I think is the most accurate and the most fair. Not a ton of bias on the MLB Pipeline, in my opinion. Honestly, I haven't looked through it yet. I've just seen one player. I know Corbin Carroll's ranked number 3, and we'll get to that. Other than that, I haven't actually looked at the list yet because I wanted to do kind of a blind review. So we're going to start from 100, go all the way to the top number 1 spot, and I'll give you my opinions whether I like it or not. So yeah, we're gonna jump into it pretty quick here. If you guys like this video, please get a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of the updated top 100 list as we go through it here. Do you agree, disagree with some of my takes? I feel like I'm pretty reasonable with some of these guys, so I'm pretty excited. Let's jump into it. Let's go. All right, so this is gonna be a layout for it. I know I've used this layout before, but I will say, not going to be able to see the stats. My other layout, you can't see them either, so I'm going to be saying the stats out loud if it's a player I'm not really sure about. So yeah, let's jump into it pretty quick here. Let's go. All right, so jumping in at number 100, Logan Allen. I actually don't hate this. He's had a pretty good year this year. He was solid last year. Don't hate it at all. At 99, Carson Williams breaking into the top 100. Don't hate it either. Young player. He's only 19 years old. 6'2", 180. It's been okay this year. Nothing insane. He does have 10 home runs. I've said this before in a lot of my videos. I think anyone between 90 and 100 can kind of be whoever and not get a lot of hate for it. 98, Adele Amador. I actually like this one. He's had a very good year at low A. Young kid too. He's only 19 years old. I'm cool with that. Kevin Alcantara, I think he should be ranked higher than this personally. Just barely breaking in the top 100. I don't really get it. Numbers were amazing last year and this year. 11 home runs, hitting 270 with a 360 on base percentage. OPS mid 800s, 8 stolen bases. I like Kevin Alcantara. Strikes out a lot, but I like him. Next up, Edwin Arroyo. Love Edwin Arroyo. Absolutely love Edwin Arroyo. He has been what I've said, I think the best draft pick of 2021. He was second rounder for the Mariners, and he's hitting 315 this year with 387 on base percentage and 12 home runs. He's been awesome. I love it. I would rank him higher personally. Number 95, Owen White, and I think they ranked him pretty recently because of his domination at Double-A. So far, Double-A's had 3 starts. He only has a 1.62 ERA, so I think that's why he made the list. Not a crazy Owen White guy, but I don't hate it. Jordan Westberg, he's had a good season. He's hitting 276 with 350, 880 OPS. Again, I don't hate it. A little bit older, but don't hate it at all. Colson Montgomery at 93. I would rank him closer to the top 50, in my opinion. He's just been so good this year. He's hitting 326 with a 431 on base percentage, 900 OPS, 6 home runs, 36 walks to 48 strikeouts. Like, love it. Matt Brash dropping all the way down to 92, which is weird to me that they would drop him so low. I know he has struggled at the MLB level. Again, I see Matt Brash as a bullpen guy. I don't know why they dropped him so low. I really don't. Just because he struggled in MLB a little bit. Like, that's pretty normal for a rookie. 91, James Wood. So he's actually jumped up the list a lot. He just entered the top 100. Now they got him at 91. I like James Wood a lot. Definitely a special talent. Hitting 301 with a 419 on base percentage. Only 6 home runs, though. Gigantic kid. 6'7", 240. So that power is going to come along naturally. At 90, Mason Wynn. This is what I was looking at earlier today. I'm okay with it. I don't love Mason Wynn. When I was in my weekly recap, I was looking at him. 23 stolen bases I like a lot. And, 360 on base percentage is fine. Mid-800s OPS is cool. I don't know why. I guess I'm not crazy on Mason Wynn. But, again, he's a 90. I don't hate it. 89, Logan Allen. Honestly, sure. He's fine. Alex Ramirez at 88. I actually love this. I think Alex Ramirez, he's got just a different type of swagger to him. 17 stolen bases this year. 800 OPS. 6 home runs. It's crazy. One of those guys that he's just naturally going to find power because some of his home runs have just been ridiculous this year. 87, Tyler Freeman. Stud. I get it. He's getting older, so 87 makes sense. Brian Rocio at 86. He actually dropped a little bit, if I remember right. He's had a slow start, but over the last 2 weeks, he's done well. Jordan Groshan's at 85. I'm cool with that. I've always been a Jordan Groshan's fan, but he has struggled a little bit at AAA this year. Hunter Brown at 84, I actually would have him higher. He's been so good this year. At AAA, he's a 2.38 ERA over 11 starts this year. Been so good. I would have him in the top 50 right now. Ivan Herrera at 83. I would just get him off the list at this point, personally. He just hasn't shown the consistency. He's been okay this year. He does have a 370 on base percentage. Only 3 home runs, though. I don't know. I'm not crazy about Ivan Herrera anymore. He's kind of just fallen off my radar a little bit. Still young, though. He's only 22. Zach Gelloff at 82. Sucks he got hurt because he was doing so well this year. He's hitting 315 with a 372 on base percentage. And no, he's just been really solid this year. Again, 82 is fine for me. 81, Gabriel Arias. I'm okay with it. A little bittersweet because I thought he was going to be a little bit better, but he's kind of struggled at MLB level this year. So, like a sour taste in the mouth. Cole Winn at 80. I'm fine with this. I like Cole Winn a lot. He has struggled this year, though. He's 6-1 somehow, but he has a 5.93 ERA over 70 innings. I like Cole Winn a lot, though. I do think he's going to be a special arm. I think he just has to figure it out. Gavin Williams definitely been one of the best pitchers in the minor leagues this year. 1.64 ERA over 14 starts. Been amazing. Honestly, I'd probably have him closer to the top 50. Pete Crow Armstrong at 78. I'd have him inside my top 50. He's hitting 320 this year with a 384 on base percentage. He's got 10 home runs, 16 stolen bases. Like, sign me up for Pete Crow Armstrong. He's inside my top 50, 100%. Drew Romo, I actually like 77 for him. He's just been a good, consistent player over the last 2 seasons. Just an athletic catcher that can just hit. Hit 314 last year. He's hitting 291 this year. Like, dude can just swing it. Ryan Pepiot at 76. Sure, he's been good in the MLB this year, too. That's fine by me, honestly. He dropped a lot, so I probably have him a little bit higher. Brandon Williamson, this is someone that I don't really get why they put him in the top 100. Honestly, I wouldn't have him in my top 100. He's been just okay. Blake Walston at 74, I think is not a terrible ranking, but he has struggled at AA this year, so I get it. Ken Waldichuk wasn't even in the top 100 this year, but he's been so good that they had to throw him in there. That Austin Wells, 72, I like Austin Wells a lot. He just came off injury, though, so we'll see. I actually promoted him to AA, so we'll see how he does there. Miguel Vargas not inside the top 50 is just an absolute robbery, in my opinion. He's just been arguably the most consistent hitter in the minor leagues, like maybe on this entire list. Over 4 years in the minor leagues, 311 batting average, 383 on base percentage, 866 OPS. He's got 45 home runs over those 4 years, too. So he's just been so good. Next up, Nick Prado at 70. Fine. That's cool. He's just a big power bat. 69, Harry Ford. I like this a lot. He's shown a really great plate discipline. He did struggle to start his pro career. He was actually terrible over like the first month and a half. He's hitting like barely 200, but he's up to 248 with a 388 on base percentage. The dude walks a lot. He's got 47 walks in 58 games, so I do enjoy that. Chris Hernandez at 68. Don't love it, to be honest. And again, one of those kind of sour tastes. He's struggled this year at rookie ball so far. Like he's only hit like 268. So at rookie ball to be number 68 on the prospect list, like you got to be doing way better, in my opinion. DL Hall at 67. That's fine. I think DL Hall is nasty. I think he's definitely a part of that Orioles rotation moving forward. Matos dropping down to 66. He's just been a disappointment this year. He's hitting 183, and I don't really get it, to be honest. I'm confused with it. York at 65, I think is fine. Been a little bit of a disappointment this year. He has been battling a little bit of injury, so I'm hoping that's part of the reason why he struggled a bit. But he just hasn't really found his power. Only 5 home runs, hitting 240. Like, just completely opposite of how he finished last year, because he killed high A last year, and he's kind of struggling this year. Tiedemann at 64, I think is fine. He has been one of the best low-key pitchers this entire year. He has a 2.13 ERA from low A and high A this year over 14 starts, and he has 103 strikeouts in 67 2/3 innings. Joey Weimer at 63. I'm okay with it. Starting to show his true colors a little bit. Little bit of a swing and miss guy. He's got 100 strikeouts this year. So, ton of power. Really good arm in the outfield. I think he's leading the minor leagues in outfield assists, but we'll see. We'll see on Joey Weimer. I don't hate 63. I'd probably drop him just a little bit lower, though. Justin Fosgo at 62. He's actually been okay this year, pretty much doing what he's been doing, hitting 277 with an 813 OPS, 26 walks over 50 games. He's got only 4 home runs. 4 home runs is crazy to me. He had so much power last year, so we'll see if he gets on a hot streak here. I don't know if it's just tough to hit in these Texas Rangers minor league systems or what, because they've kind of struggled across the board, in my opinion, this year. They have a lot of good prospects, too. 61, Curtis Mead jumping way up on the list. I actually like this a lot. Curtis Mead's been phenomenal this year. 292 batting average, 392 on base percentage, 924 OPS, 12 home runs, 6 stolen bases in there, 34 walks, and that's between AA and AAA. So I'm cool with that. I actually like Curtis Mead a lot. Matt McClain at 60. I don't love it. I get it. He's high draft pick, but I would have him lower on my list. I'd probably have him around 80. Again, one of those players I'm a little biased on, but you know, I wouldn't have him at 60. He's only hit 237 this year. Vinny Pasquantino, no, I'm sorry. Like he emerged this year. He's a former 11th round draft pick. He has killed it this year. He was leading AAA in home runs at one point, but I mean, Omaha seems like a really easy spot to hit home runs, so it is what it is. Ezequiel Tovar, I'd have him inside the top 50 for sure, probably inside the top 40 at this point. He's just been so good this year, so love that. Ezekiel Duran, for every reason I don't like Ezekiel Duran. I just don't think he's that great, so I wouldn't have him here. I'd have him down closer to 70 to 90 range even. Tovar is definitely a better prospect than Duran in my opinion. Mick Abel at 56. I just don't get it why people are hanging on to hope with Mick Abel at this point. It's just been 2 years in a row now. Low A and then high A this year. He's had like a mid-4 ERA. So I struggle even having him in my top 100 right now. Luis Campusano at 55, just kind of still hanging around. He's a really good offensive catcher. So it's hard not to put him around that ranking. Like, I don't hate it. But when are the Padres going to give him a chance? Like, come on. Give him like a long, actual, legitimate chance in MLB. 54 Andrew Painter, I'd have him a lot higher. I think Andrew Painter might be in my top 25 right now, to be honest. And that is a bold statement, but 1.74 ERA this year over 12 starts, 46.2 innings, and he has 79 strikeouts. Absolutely love it. He's also, 6'7" or 6'9", 6'7", like the downward angle, ridiculous. Just insane. Ronnie Mauricio at 53. No, I'd have him closer to about 80 or 90. You guys know how I feel about Ronnie Mauricio. The dude can't get on base, and he started off hot this year, and look at where he's at now. 250 batting average, 284 on base percentage. Like, he does have a mid-7 OPS, but that's because he has 15 home runs. Like, no. You can't get on base over 30% of the time. Like, no. You're not even close to the top 50. I don't even know if I have him in the top 100 anymore, to be honest. I know it's harsh. The talent's there, but it's just, he can't get on base. 52 Brady House. I'm fine with it. Has slowed down a little bit. He's still having a solid first year at low A, 278 with 356 on base percentage, but only has 3 home runs. Last year he hit 4 home runs in his first 16 games, so I think he's hurt right now, but he just hasn't really done what people thought. Everyone thought he was going to just pass with flying colors this year. Kind of showing a little bit of struggles, which I have predicted a little bit for Brady House, but I don't hate the 52 rank. Khloe Watson at 51. I think you got to drop him lower than this. Honestly, he just hasn't been good this year at all. Flew out the gate, just killed it initially, and now he's hitting 220. He does have 8 home runs, 12 stolen bases. Got in trouble recently, so he hasn't been playing either for like pretending to like shoot an umpire with his bat. No, I would have Khloe Watson lower than this, because especially if you're comparing him to Elly De La Cruz at 50. Like, 50 and 51 should be pretty similar players, right? Elly De La Cruz, similar age, and he's just killing high A. He has 20 home runs this year, 28 stolen bases, 971 OPS, hitting 303 at the 360 on base percentage. I'd have Elly De La Cruz in my top 40 at least, maybe even my top 30 right now. Part of me still questions whether he's actually legit or not, but he's been so good this year. It's like impossible not to say that. 49 Sal Frelick. I actually like Sal Frelick a lot. He's just the definition of consistency, and no matter what level he's been at, like they moved him up to AA this year. He's hitting 300 with the 360 on base percentage. He doesn't hit for a lot of power because he's smaller, but he's gonna be a good piece in a lineup. I don't hate that rank. Probably have a little bit lower just because his ceiling's not as high as others, but plays good defense, hits the ball hard a lot. Andy Pahe's at 48. Love it, absolutely love it. Been struggling a little bit recently. He's hitting 245 this year, so as he's moved up, his batting average has gone down, but the power's still there. Hit 31 home runs last year. He has 15 home runs so far, so kind of projecting towards that 30 mark again. Just crazy good power. He's only 21 years old, like just ridiculous. Keika Valley at 47 has struggled at AAA a little bit. He's starting to figure it out. He's starting to strike out people more, but I'm fine with that rank. I like Keika Valley a lot. But like I said, he has struggled a little bit. Did not think he was going to struggle, to be honest, at AAA. Liberator at 46. I don't really consider him a prospect anymore, so we're going to skip over him. Brian Baio at 45. I'm cool with. I think he just made his MLB debut. Got hit up just a little bit. Walked a few batters, which hurt him in his debut. But he's been so good in the minors this year. I'm cool with that. I might even have him a little bit higher. Definitely have him higher than Lie over Peguero. For whatever reason, I don't think Lie over Peguero is legit. He just doesn't get on base. He's kind of similar to like Ronnie Mauricio, in my opinion. Never really had a high on base percentage at like a legitimate level. He was good at rookie ball for getting on base, but since then, like this year he's at AA, hitting 275, but he only has an on base percentage of 308. I don't love that. Michael Busch at 43. Honestly, I like Michael Busch. I think he's a good player. As he gets older, I'd probably move him down the list just a little bit, but I mean, MLB ready in my opinion. Corbin Carol at 42. I'm cool with it. Has struggled more than I have expected this year, but he still has a 400 on base percentage. He's hitting 265 this year. He only has 6 home runs, but I've never really projected him as like a big home run guy, in my opinion. He has 17 stolen bases too, but since he's moved up to AA, he's actually doing really good. He's played 11 games at AA now, 314 with a 500 on base percentage. So we'll see. Royce Lewis jumping up to 41. Love it. Dude got hurt again though. Like this was supposed to be the Royce Lewis year, you know? He comes back from injury. No one expects anything. Blows up. Goes to the MLB. Plays really well there. And then tears his ACL again. Like, dude, can't catch a break. I feel so bad for him. But if he was healthy, I would agree with that ranking. I'd probably even have him higher with how he played this year. Jason Deming is at 40. I think it's a little optimistic at this point. He's 19, so he's not really the young kid anymore at low A. He's kind of where he belongs for that age group. 262 at the 371 on base percentage. 9 home runs, 17 stolen bases. Talent's there, but I would probably have him in like 60, 70 range now, just because he's that same age group. If he was 18 and doing it like that, I could understand it, but he's just a little older now. Oswald Peraza at 39. Oswald Peraza is a good player, but he has struggled at AAA this year. I'd have him a little bit lower, hitting about 240 this year. I'd have him probably around the 60 range. Jackson Chourio at 38. Wow. Okay, this is someone that wasn't even in the top 100 before this update, and they threw him all the way up to 38. He's been so good this year. He's hitting 320 with a 370 on base percentage, and he has 12 home runs, and this dude just turned 18. Super young player. I don't hate the rank. I think I'd have him closer to 50 right now. I don't know if I'd have him within my top 40 just because he has come down to earth a little bit. He started off the season like stupid hot, like crazy numbers, and then he started to slow down a little bit. Scouts are starting to figure him out a little bit. So I have him closer to about 50 right now. Aurelio Martinez, I can't put there right now. Someone like Ronnie Mauricio, like he's pushing like the bottom 20. Like he's pushing like top 80 maybe for me. The power's unquestionably amazing. He has 19 home runs this year already, but he's hitting 212 with the 280 on base percentage. It's just at some point you got to just realize he just doesn't hit that well. 36, Tyler Schotterstrom. Again, just a little high based off what he's done this year. I still have him in my top 50, though, because I loved what he did last year, but he has struggled this year. 245 batting average, 308 on base percentage, 14 home runs, though, already. So the power is definitely there. I'm hoping he has a good second half because I do like Tyler Soderstrom. At 35, Quinn Priester, actually love this one. He's done really well since coming off of injury. 34, Taj Bradley. I think I honestly, like, Taj Bradley's going to, like, my top 15 right now. Like, that is how good Taj Bradley is right now. Like, top 20 at the worst. Over his minor league career, 2.32 ERA over 4 years now. This year in 2022 at AA at 21 years old, he has a 1.51 ERA, 71 and a thirds innings, 83 strikeouts. Absolutely love Taj Bradley right now. Like I said, he might be the best pitching prospect in baseball outside of like a healthy Grayson Rodriguez. Like, ridiculous. George Valera, 33. I like it. I think George Valera is a good player. I think he's done very well this year. Very consistent player. I don't hate that rank. Maybe a little lower, but 33 is fine. Shae Langler's at 32. Kind of similar. I like Langler's a lot. I like 32 for him only because, you know, it's based off what you want to rank your prospects based off of. If you're ranking towards how these players are going to last in MLB, Langler is going to have a long career. Super good defensive catcher that is actually just keeps getting better offensively. The A's just need to bring him up. I just don't get why they haven't yet. Josh Young at 31. I love it. I think he dropped a little bit on the list because he got hurt. He's going to miss the majority of the season, which stinks. I think hopefully we're going to see him at the end of the year again, but stinks. Stinks that he got hurt, so I get it. Nick Gonzalez at 30, I think it's just high. I think it's high. I said that when he got ranked. I think he was like 23 or something on the last one. Love Nick Gonzalez. I think he's a great player, but lower ceiling than some other players, I would say. I have him in my top 50, but probably like right around 50. Brennan Davis at 29. I don't hate the ranking. I just sucks that he had back surgery. Came out yesterday or 2 days ago. Thinks that he's going to be able to play this year, though, still. Nick Lodolo at 28. I actually really like Nick Lodolo. I think he's going to be a really good arm for the Reds. I don't hate the rank, though. He's done really good in the minors this year and his whole career in the minors. So we'll see if he can put it together at MLB level. Bobby Miller at 27. I love Bobby Miller. I think he's fantastic, but I just can't put him at 27. Like, I cannot put him over Taj Bradley, in my opinion. Nick Lodolo either. I'd have Taj Bradley over all of them right now. Same with Kyle Harrison here. We're getting to a few pitchers here. Kyle Harrison has proved that he's probably the best strikeout pitcher in the top 100. I'll give him that. But he does get hit up a little bit. He has a 2.52 ERA this year, which is great. Since he's hit Double-A, he's only at a 3.1. He's starting to really get comfortable. I like Kyle Harrison a lot, but Taj Bradley's still above him for me there. Yuri Perez, which I don't know if I don't know if we've seen Yuri Perez yet. So he might be higher on this list. Taj Bradley and Yuri Perez are my two favorites right now, outside of like Grayson Rodriguez. Jackson Jobe at 25. I'd have to drop him lower. He's actually struggled this year. He's just 5.0 ERA. Did not expect this at all. 43 Ks in over 40 innings, but 18 walks. Whip's not that great. Hitters are just hitting him. Like, they're just hitting him. Robert Hassel at 24. Hassel and Veen have been together on this list forever. I think that's what's going to be. Jordan Lawler and Marcelo Meyer, they're just going to be next to each other as long as they're playing good. And for both of them, I don't hate it. I think you got to put Robert Hassel. I think you got to switch him. I think Hassel's just shown more consistency. But the upside on Veen, the ceiling is definitely higher. But like 35 stolen bases for Veen with 10 home runs. Robert Hassel, you have 19 stolen bases with 9 home runs. So like Hassel gets on base more. Veen is a little more flashy. It's literally interchangeable, but I would have Hassel above Veen right now. Max Meyer, love Max Meyer. I'm cool with this ranking just because he's been so consistent. 3.69 ERA, and he's actually dealt with some arm issues this year too. So like to see under a 4 and the majority of his starts, 12 starts at AAA this year, like, yeah, he's just so good. They just need to bring him up. Bret Beatty at 21. I actually like this ranking. I'm a big Bret Beatty fan. I'm a little biased on him. I just love his swing. But he has just been turning up lately, up to an 830 OPS. He's got 11 home runs this year, starting to show a little bit more pop. Big Bret Beatty fan. Noelvi Marte at 20. I would have him a little bit lower than this right now. So he's only in high A's, 20 years old, so he is still young. But he has struggled this year. And obviously I do my recaps every week. He's been MVP and runner-up MVP the last 2 weeks. So he's been on a tear lately, but I would have him a little bit lower. Probably have him around 30 right now, I think. It's hard. It's really difficult with Noelvi Marte because, like, part of me wants to say, like, he's going to run into issues just getting on base in general, but just the talent it's there. He's so good when he's playing well. It is what it is. O'Neal Cruz at 19. I don't love it. Like, I have been on the O'Neal hype train for 3-4 years now. I think he's a good hitter, but I don't know if he'll ever be a great hitter at the MLB level just because he's so big and so lengthy. He has a good swing, just doesn't have the best eye at the plate, and it's kind of showed this year. He's struggled in AAA this year, only hitting 230, and then he got brought up. He's only hitting 215. I just think he's overhyped right now. He needs more time at AAA. Henry Davis at 18. Wow, that's a little bold. So he killed low A this year, like absolutely smothered low A when he was there. Moved up to high A, killed high A too over 22 games, hit 340 with a 450 on base percentage. Love that. Has struggled at Double A though. 17 games, hitting 177 there. Probably have him like around the 30 range. I like Henry Davis a lot though. Good plate discipline. Gets beaned a lot. Like for whatever reason, I think he set a record. He's been beaned in 5 straight games twice this year already. Like ridiculous. Jack Leiter at 17. I dropped him just a little bit lower now. Obviously, the ceiling's super high on Jack Leiter, but I would have him probably towards 50 because he has over a 6 ERA this year in Double A. Yes, they did throw him straight to Double A, which is like a death sentence for most pitchers, but because when you compare him, like you're putting him above Max Meyer, who they did the same thing to last year, and Max Meyer excelled at Double-A, and Jack Leiter's absolutely struggling. So gotta put him at least below Meyer. I would probably have him closer to 50. All right, Yuri Perez at 16. Love Yuri Perez. He's been so good this year. 3.0 ERA over 62 innings, 87 strikeouts. Dude is 6'8". Like Taj Bradley, Yuri Perez, Grayson Rodriguez. They are just going to be special arms, in my opinion. I like that ranking. Cassis at 15 still. Don't hate it. I mean, absolutely love his power. He has dealt with some injuries this year. Hitting 248 with a 360 on base percentage, 816 OPS. Has 6 home runs over 36 games. Just hasn't found his in-game power for whatever reason. Like Tristan Cassis, if he finds his in-game power, he could hit 50 home runs in a year. Like, and that's not even an understatement. His power is so crazy. Cartaya at 14. Wow. I know they love Diego Cartaya, and he's actually had a really good year this year, too. He's hitting 270 with a 406 on base percentage, 945 OPS, 14 home runs. 14, though? Maybe. Between 15 and 20 for Cartaya, I'd say, especially at the catching position. He's definitely an offensive upside. Jordan Lawler at 13. Haven't seen Marcelo Meyer on the list yet, so I don't love that he's ranked higher than him. But Jordan Lawler at 13, I think he should be in the top 10 in my opinion. Just been so good this year. Has struggled at high A. Over his first 6 games at high A, he's hitting under 100, so we'll see how he does there. He has been getting unlucky, though. I was talking to a couple people. He's just hitting the ball at people, so hopefully he can break out of that. But at low A, he was probably the best player at low A this year. 365 with a 461 on base percentage, 1084 OPS, 23 stolen bases, 8 home runs. Like top 10 for me, in my opinion. Shane Baz, don't consider him a prospect anymore. Daniel Espino at 11 is interesting. That is interesting to me. Love Daniel Espino. Crazy stuff. For whatever reason, he's not really pitching. I can't remember what his injury is, and they're not really listing him as injured either. They're just not letting him throw. And for whatever reason, but when he has pitched, he's dominated. Over 4 starts this year at Double-A, 2.45 ERA, 18 and a third, 35 strikeouts. So I don't know if I have Espino in my top 10. There's a couple guys that I mentioned. I would have Espino after them. I would have, obviously you have Grayson Rodriguez, you have Yuri Perez, you have Taj Bradley. I would have him after them, probably after even like Max Meyer, maybe another guy too, but probably like top 25. Marcelo Meyer at 10, don't love it, honestly, and it's just because, honestly, he's just not as good as Jordan Lawler so far. Not to say that his ceiling isn't there, but at low A, he's just not doing what I thought he would do. He's hitting 286 with a 380 on base percentage, 889 OPS, which isn't bad. It's not a bad first professional year. Like, it's not bad at all. But for the hype this guy has, being a top 10 prospect, like, you expect what Jordan Lawler did at low A. So, honestly, maybe like top 25 for me. I'm not sold on Meyer yet. Marco Luciano back in the top 10. He has done really good this year. He's hitting 288 with a 360 on base percentage. 8 home runs over 40 games. He did get hurt, lower back strain. I'm not sure how long he's going to miss, though. He's missed a few weeks now. But his strikeout rate is way down, so love that. Obviously, I think Marco Luciano's ceiling is just as high as anyone on this list. So I don't hate him being back in the top 10. I don't hate it at all. Anthony Volpe. Andy's only 20 years old still. Remind you that. Anthony Volpe at 8. I would have him a little bit lower just because he has shown that he is human. Last year was a crazy year for him, but he has shown that he's human this year. He's hitting 246 at Double-A with a 340 on base percentage, 11 home runs, 35 stolen bases though. So love that. Probably like top 25 again, maybe like top 20 even for Volpe. I don't have him in my top 10 right now though. Jordan Walker at 7. I love this one. Jordan Walker is definitely top 10 prospect at this point. Just turned 20 years old at Double-A this year, hitting 310 with a 399 on base percentage, 7 home runs, which his power is going to come. It's there. It's just, can he find it? It's more of like a kind of like a Julio Rodriguez situation where just never hit a ton of home runs, but I think once he gets to the MLB, he's probably going to put some out of the park. 15 stolen bases too for that freaking Moose is impressive. He's just had his way this year with Double-A at, again, just turned 20. Moreno at 6. Don't consider him really a prospect anymore because I think he's going to stay with the Blue Jays. But if For basing him on a prospect still, it makes sense. He's just so good. Hit 324 in AAA this year. Again, not a big power bat, but the dude can just flat out play. Gunnar Henderson at 5. Wow. Okay. Gunnar Henderson has shut me up this year for sure. I've never been on the Gunnar Henderson hype train, but he has shut me up this year. Hitting 293 with a 427 on base percentage and a 959 OPS and 13 home runs, 15 stolen bases. He's at AAA now. He's come down to earth a little bit. He's in about 265 there. I wouldn't have him in my top 10 still. I'm sorry. For what he's done in the past, I wouldn't have him in my top 10. Probably like top 25 because he has done so good this year. But I won't have him in my top 5. Like, no. Get out of here. Like, I'm not putting him in front of Jordan Walker. I'm not putting him in front of probably Marco Luciano. Probably not in front of Jordan Lawler. Like, there's a few guys there that I would definitely not have him in front of. Grayson Rodriguez, obviously, when he's healthy, is the best there could be. He could be at number 1 on this list because he's been so good. This year, he's had 11 starts, 2.0 ERA, 56 innings, 80 strikeouts. He's that guy. He's the best pitching prospect in baseball. Corbin Carroll at 3. This is one I was very excited to see. Honestly, heck, he could be number 1 once Riley Green's gone, in my opinion. And we'll talk about Francisco Alvarez too, but Corbin Carroll has been so special this year. 315 with a 431 on base percentage, 1086 OPS, 20 stolen bases, 18 home runs this year. And this is what I was saying about him. We didn't get to see him play in 2021. I was like, Corbin Carroll might have more power than we think, because he showed power in those 7 games last year where he hit 2 home runs in his first 7 games, and it's become true. So he is a complete player now. He's been the best player at AA. Just had his first game at AAA yesterday. He went 1 for 5, but he did hit a home run with his 1 hit. And I did see him hit an absolute screamer to the wall. It was just caught. So Corbin Carroll, in my opinion, is the number 1 prospect in baseball right now. And I'm not trying to be a biased Diamondbacks fan. I'm just not. He's just, the numbers don't lie with Corbin Carroll right now. And then Francisco Alvarez, he's been awesome this year. 268 with a 363 on base percentage, 895 OPS, and 18 home runs. So same amount of home runs as Corbin Carroll. He's a catcher, so he does have that upside. Pitchers seem to like pitching to him too, which is awesome. He's still really young, so he's 20 years old. He's got that on top of Corbin Carroll, in my opinion, because I do think these two are probably right there in that conversation. But for as far as Francisco Alvarez goes, he's been streaky, which is fine. But he just got moved up to AAA, and we'll see how he does. I do want to see him debut this year in the MLB because I think he is a special talent. Does strike out a lot, so we'll see. But I do like Francisco Alvarez inside the top 5 now. Definitely inside the top 5. It's hard not to with him only being 20 years old. And then Riley Green, I don't consider a prospect anymore, but yes, with all the people that have graduated and he hasn't yet, he is the number 1. He's a 5-tool player. He's been awesome this year in the MLB so far. He has struggled like the last week, so he's only hitting like 250 now, but he's already made like 2 or 3 Gold Glove caliber plays in the outfield. Just super good talent. And then just to round out the video, if I was going to rank my top 5 right now, personally, I would have Corbin Carroll. I would have Grayson Rodriguez. I would have Jordan Walker. I would have Jordan Lawler, and then I'd have Francisco Alvarez at 5, I think that would be my top 5 right now if I had to make a top 5. It's tough, though. That top 10 is really strong, and they're all very close together right now. But yeah, you guys, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys like this video, please get a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about the updated MLB Pipeline Top 100 prospect list. I actually like it. I think it's pretty fair, to be honest. Few guys I'd move up and down, though. I think some of these ranks are still hanging on the last year's numbers. Some are too much based off, the first half of this season. So I'd probably move them around a little bit, but honestly, not a bad list. I love seeing some of these newer players on the list. Bold top 5 from me. Let me know what you think of that top 5 I threw out there. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. See ya!